What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. I just watched the brand new Netflix original movie, Always Be My Maybe. I need you guys in the comments down below. Let me know, did you like this movie? Did you not like it? And are you looking forward to it? Let's talk about this film. So the basic premise for Always Be My Maybe is a pair of childhood friends end up falling for each other when they grow up. And yeah, that's about as stripped down and basic of a summary as you are going to get. Now, this is a movie that I was a bit fearful for. I liked the trailers because I really enjoy these actors. Randall Park has always been a favorite of mine. He's never really had a lead role to shine as he does in this movie. And then, of course, Ali Wong is hilarious and just awesome, and I love seeing her on screen every single time I see her. So those two paired up in a film like this with a rom-com background, this had potential to be really good. And oh yeah, if you saw the trailer, you know Keanu Reeves pops up in this movie. We'll hit on that as well. But Netflix rom-coms, they never really hit hard for me. Now, some of them have been better more recently. I've given a lot of 6 out of 10s, 5 out of 10s to the Netflix rom-com genre. Every now and then they hit really hard, like To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I really enjoyed that one. But the majority that I have seen, especially in the teen rom-com division, haven't really worked for me. And the adult rom-com division has had even less hits, but they've had less outings, so I don't blame them as much for not hitting hard in that category. This movie, for me, starting out, had so much more charm than I've seen out of any of the other movies on Netflix in this category. There are so many good things about it, from the chemistry with the two leads. The side characters come in and play their role. They don't shine as bright as the actual stars, but they're really good. And then the moments of this film. I'm not going to sit back and say this is the funniest film of the year, because it's absolutely not. And not all of the jokes worked. I think some of the humor here is not as good as other jokes later on in the film. There are entire scenes of this movie that are hilarious, but then there are other scenes that just don't focus as much on the comedy, so I can't strike it as hard. But overall, the enjoyment factor doesn't come as much from the comedy as it does the chemistry. Once again, Ali Wong, Randall Park, I've always wanted them to prove that they can be leads who carry a film, not necessarily like this, but the fact that we got them in a rom-com together is awesome, and they were just as good as I imagined them to be. Now, the story, it's a bit cliche, it's a bit glossy. This is a rom-com that you probably have seen before. You can anticipate where it's going to go. If you read the summary, you know where it could go, but it's not the destination with a movie like this. It's all about the journey, and the majority of the times, the journey just doesn't measure up to what I think the filmmakers intend. This time, however, for me, I think did measure up, because the leads are so great, the script here is really solid, and I found a lot of relatability to Randall Park's character, especially because he's a guy who just does not want to leave his hometown. He tries to find reasons to stay back and stay with his father and remain in that place for the majority of his life, even though there's this part of him that wants to branch out and go to a different place and be with certain people. Now, Ali Wong's character is a completely different character. She is living the big life in the real world, and she has lots of money. She has everything she's ever wanted, except the person in her life that allows her to be free and be herself. And those two storylines conflict, of course, but they come together in such a way that was so entertaining and just likable. This is a likable movie. Waking up this early, watching a movie on Netflix, you want to watch something that, first of all, grabs your attention, but second of all, you're just having a good time with. And I had a good time with these characters. Yes, I related to Randall Park's character because that's just a relatable situation, and the filmmakers knew that, and they knew that they'd grab me, and sure enough, they absolutely did. But then you have these scenes that just shine all the way through from beginning to end, and that all starts with Keanu Reeves' character, who comes in, who is playing Keanu Reeves, by the way. You see that in the trailer, but he comes in and knocks it out of the park. The humor from this movie, when I look back and I say, what was funny about this film? The majority of it comes from the scenes that Keanu Reeves is in. He is so funny. He's playing this version of himself that is way over the top, because everybody knows Keanu Reeves is like the nicest guy in Hollywood, but he doesn't play that in this movie, and it is great, the dynamics, and then you get some music out of it. Randall Park's character has a band, and the songs that they perform are actually really catchy, and then the song playing during the post-credits is fantastic. There are some awkward editing moments in this movie, the sound effects in particular, really bothered me because they are the cliche crowd cheering sound effects and baby crying sound effects and kids running sound effects that you could find on Final Cut, and things like that tend to take me out of a movie. It's not going to bother people who love a good rom-com or love a nice story with solid characters and don't pay as much attention to the technical aspects, because really, with a movie like this, you don't tend to pay as much attention because you're enjoying it so much. The end credits, they were a bit jumpy, edited a tad bit weird, but you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. One of my favorite Netflix movies of the year. Did not expect to like it this much. I knew there was good talent, but you just never know with the romantic comedy. It's very rare that you get a romantic comedy that is this likable. Sure, it's not groundbreaking from a story perspective, but it's entertaining. And the director, whose name is Nahnatchka Khan, I hope I pronounced that right. She has no directing credits for any major films to her name. This is her first foray in directing a feature film, not a television show, and I cannot wait to see what she does next. All of those things being said, I'm gonna go pretty high. I'm gonna go 78% for Always Be My Maybe. I had a darn good time with this movie. I hope you guys did as well. If you like this review or Netflix reviews in general, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It definitely helps this channel, and I appreciate you guys for all of your comments down below. Let me know, did you love this movie? Did you hate it? Whatever you want to talk about, this is your space and place to talk about Always Be My Maybe. This is a jam-packed day. More reviews coming very soon. I believe next up is going to be Swamp Thing, followed by a brand new Netflix original series. You guys are the best, and I'll see you very soon.